Hiya friends, welcome to Kitten Brush. In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw Mei Lee from Disney Pixar's Turning Red. So grab something to draw with and let's get started. I'm going to start at the center of my paper, just a little ways up. I'm going to draw a small curve. And we're drawing the panda form of Mei's character. So this will be the top of her panda's nose. And then on each point, I'm just going to extend that down and then curve around to make a round bottom. And I guess you could say this is more of the snout. It's not really the nose. We're going to draw the nose right now. So draw a straight line and then just a curve underneath it. And then under that curve, I'm just going to draw a straight line, but I'm not going to carry it all the way down to that bottom curve. Now for her eyes, we're going to do a kawaii style eye. So just draw a really round, big round circle there. I'm going to repeat on the other side. Now for inside the eye, just want to draw a curve, a parallel curve there. Should look like a crescent, a really thin crescent. And now for the eye highlights, I'm going to draw 3 in each eye, starting with one really big eye highlight. And then I'm going to do a medium-sized highlight underneath that. And then a little bitty one right there, off to the side. I'm just gonna fix this really quick. Looks a little wonky to me. That bothers me. So now let's move on to the mouth. And I'm just gonna put 2 little points there just to kind of gauge where I want to go. And I'm gonna bring down a curve and then go the other side and do the same thing and just have them meet. And I'm gonna draw a little line there for the teeth. All right, now let's work on her eyebrows. And this is really important because it gives it so much expression. Just come above that left eye and you're gonna draw a curve going up and then repeat on the other side. And then go back to that left curve and you're gonna draw a wavy line. It's gonna look sort of like a bean, her eyebrows. I think that looks pretty good. I'm sorry, my cords are getting in the way, so let me fix that. And my table's super wobbly. So now let's work on the rest of her head. I'm gonna come up just above those eyebrows and draw a long curve. This will be the top of her head. And then at the end of each curve, I'm going to draw a sort of straight line. It's a little bit curved just slightly. And I'm going to round off that line that I just drew for the top of the ears. And now let's extend that line down on each side. Mei has some really cute curls on the side of her face, so I'm going to draw those now. It's just a curve that comes up, and then at that point, bring that curve down. And just make a smaller one just underneath it. I'm going to repeat on the other side. I'm just going to draw an invisible line there, so I know where to put the curls here. Right, I think that looks pretty good. Now let's draw her cheeks. And to do that, I'm just going to match up where her ear would come down the side of her face there. Just an invisible line. And then I'm going to draw a slight curve. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to try to extend that line down a little bit more on the left side and come underneath her chin. And I missed that a little bit, but that's okay. We can fix that. I still think it looks pretty good. Now she does have some facial markings on her cheeks, and her ears are also white, but I'm going to show you how to do that a little later, how I'm going to do it. You don't have to do it my way, but you know, you can do whatever you want. So I'm going to continue on with the body right now. I'm going to draw her little paws. And I'm just going to draw two curves back to back, right in the middle of where her body is. And then just draw another curve going the other direction. And then her thumbs, it's more of like a C shape coming off of that other curve on her hand or her paw. Now go up to about where her neck would be. You're not going to see her neck. And I'm just going to draw two lines there just to show where I want those lines, the side of her body to start. I'm going to draw a curve here. And it's actually not the side of her body I'm drawing, it's her arms. And then I'm going to come back up to her paw and draw another curve, and then just try to round it out and meet them together. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Just gradually meeting those two lines together. Now I'll come on the inside of her arm and just draw a small line there. A small curve, slight curve. I'm going to extend some lines down here from underneath her arms. And that got a little sloppy, but I'm going to fix that in a little bit. And I'm going to extend down these lines on each side, and this is going to be her legs. And I'm going to put a slight curve there after I extend those lines down, just a little curve. It's going to be like the side of her foot. And now before I move on, I'm going to draw a center line here, just to separate her two legs. And you don't want it to come up all the way, obviously, because we want to draw this curve here. This is the bottom of her belly. And now I'm going to come back and finish her feet and just draw a slight curve there at the bottom. You want to make it look like her legs and her feet are smushed together really tightly. And then for the toes, I'm going to draw a center line right there in the middle of the foot that's a little bit longer, and then two smaller lines on each, or one smaller line on each side. So two small lines, one long line. Oh, I'm just going to fix these two lines here. And now let's move on to her tail. She has a really cute fluffy tail. So I'm going to draw a nice big curve there coming off the side of her leg. I'm going to round that out and then just bring it just underneath that line. I'm going to extend it down to the bottom, like her elbow there. Now I'm going to go back up to her head. I just realized I forgot an important detail, and that would be her ears. So I'm going to draw just a slightly curved line inside her ear on each side. And then off that curve on the bottom, I'm going to draw some curls just like we did earlier. And just do it the same thing on the other side. And I'll show you again how I'm going to color this. But first, I want to add some little details around her head. Because she's a 13-year-old girl and this is a kawaii style drawing, I'm going to draw some cute hearts and stars around her head and add glitter to those. So I'm just going to add a bunch of hearts. You don't have to do this, of course, and if you want to do something different like stickers, go for it. But I'm going to make them different sizes, just a few hearts there. Now I'm going to add some stars. And I know stars are a little tricky, so just draw them really slowly, or if there's a different type of star you want to draw, go for it. I don't know, I kind of like the awkward looking star. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? I think that's what adds to the charm. And again, I'm going to do different sizes for the stars too. I'm going to draw some smaller stars down here. And if you haven't seen this movie yet, it is really cute. You can find it on Disney Plus. So now I'm going to draw another kind of star, just a 4-pointed star. I'm not even sure if there's a different name for these. It looks a little different than the 5-pointed star I just drew. I just wanted to give my drawing a little variation. I think that looks finished. I don't want to add too much, but it just makes it look too busy. And just balance it out. I could go on doing this for hours, but you know, you don't want overkill. Alright, are we done? No. Okay, now we're done. Or I'm done. You can add as many or as few as you want. Okay, now I'm done. Now I'm going to show you the different markings on her face. I'm just going to outline these and the color I'm planning to color Mei. So on the side of her face, I'm going to start just off to the side of her chin. I'm going to draw a curve coming up toward her eye and then round it off toward the side of her face. And I'm going to repeat that on the other side. Just rounding off and coming underneath those curls there. Alright, now for her ears, I'm just going to show you where I'm going to leave it white again, just like I did down below. And I'm going to start that right here at the tip of her ear, at the top of her head, and just bring down almost like it's like a little wave there. Just a really slight bend there in that wave. And just coming down just underneath her curls, there's going to be a little bit of orange. in between those two markings on the side of her face. And that's it for the face. Now let me show you some other markings on her body. She has some little swirls on her arms toward the top there. So let me show you. It's just sort of a spiral. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It is mirrored, so you're going to draw sort of the opposite. It's going to look like the opposite direction. It's going to face the opposite direction. There we go. And some of the markings on her body are like a maroon color. So that's the color I'm using. Also for her tail. So sort of like a dark red maroon color, the stripes on her tail. And she has 3 stripes from what I could tell. So that's what I'm going to do here. Just showing you where those are going to go. I'm going to go ahead and color those in. I don't know why I'm having like struggles today with coloring. There we go. This is a little better. Alright, I'm going to start coloring now, and I'm going to add some facts about red pandas, so stay tuned and I will see you at the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed drawing Mei in her red panda form with me, and if you did, please hit that like and subscribe button to see more kit and brush videos in the future. Bye now!